Hello and welcome to I'm going to call it the comeback episode of Next Gen Newsweek because, we did so many live episodes back to back. So it's a return to normalcy-ish. We're just missing some people, but that's okay. We're always missing people. My name is Mitch. Joining me tonight is Richard.
Hello.
And Michael in his cat ears. And everything in his room is turning teal. Like his Switch.
It's so beautiful.
For audio only, he's showing us everything in his room that's teal. So we're gonna have more of a laid back stream this evening. Why's my camera so high? I'm gonna drop it down some. Because E3 was last week, which means there's like nothing going on this week, minus just a couple of things, and we're not going to talk about what.
There's really not even conversations going on about E3 this week. It's just kind of
everybody's fatigued because we started off kind of strong with Microsoft, we ended pretty strong with Nintendo. There was a bunch of meh in the middle of it. And
I'd say there was a lot of meh from start to finish.
It was it did not hit anywhere near where it could have hit as far as like major announcements and stuff like that. So what we're gonna talk about, like I think what we should call our best and worst things from E3, I guess. And then we're just gonna hang out and shoot the shiz or whatever. We may talk about Rick and Morty, because that's the only thing eventful that's happened, including the Nintendo 69. Because it was like the one thing I took away from that whole episode of Rick and Morty was, oh, what are you doing to me, Nintendo? Oh. So anyway, this is gonna be a very
it was the very best,
a not formal episode of Next Gen Newsweek. So if you came here for news, there's probably not going to be any, unless I just think of something randomly, or
so much not news.
Some kind of Twitter drops happen or something. But I would like to start off the show this evening. Michael, how do you feel that there was nothing to do with Genshin Impact at E3?
Terrible. But that's because Genshin Impact didn't have shit to show at E3, which is pretty par for the course. I love Genshin Impact, again, but they still haven't come out with a new region. They keep on teasing it, but yeah.
I was about to ask, is that still going pretty strong? Like, I mean, I've not looked for any articles to read about it, but
they've kind of come out with this event right now. I think it's lasted until like the end of next week. Where you can get like a items, your normal level up items, and then a catalyst, which is like the magical tombs that they use, and a way to generate a prototype catalyst of like just a prototype weapon of whatever your choice is. So if you're building up like a claymore or another catalyst, you can just generate that. It's not reusable though, so it's like a one-time use item, but at least it kind of gives you the option of going like, hey, trying to build this up, let's go ahead and make another one. And that way you can refine your items. I'm saving it because first time I've seen that item, and they'll probably make more craftable items in the near future. Nice. So to me, it's just a smart choice to just kind of like keep it. They have introduced a new world boss, so now there's 4 that you can rotate between instead of there's just 3. But they still just really don't have a whole lot of content. If you already kind of maxed out before the Frost area came out, you're still at max. Like there's not another tier to go to. You're basically just grinding for more stuff still.
Somebody's got a lot of feedback coming through. Or is that me?
It could be. Is it me?
It's Richard.
It's Richard.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it's coming from.
But, I mean, honestly, though, even if Genshin Impact showed up and said, hey, here's a piece of concept art for our new area, they would have had a better showing than like Capcom and Bandai Namco. Like they would have already won. Like they would have easily just taken what, 4th place.
Well, I mean, it's funny because even though they've got like this really tight ban hammer on all their beta leakers, they decided to go for, and I haven't looked at any of the details because I'm not trying to spoil myself. They decided that instead of letting the leakers leak the stuff, they went ahead and leaked like the next 4 characters they're going to release. And because the leakers kind of released all the details that they had about the new area, so kind of like tit for tat against the leakers. I'm excited for the Claymore Animo girl, who is like a little tiny little chibi person that just curls up to a ball.
Samus?
But basically, except for she's like a panda or something. I don't know.
Wow.
Supposed to be a sleepy ninja sort of chick. I don't even know, but I want her. That's all that matters.
You said like a bunch of different adjectives for this person. She's sleepy. She's a ninja. She's a claymore, and she's a panda.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All rolled into a ball.
Yeah. Squeeze.
And she's tiny. Yeah. Big old little squeeze.
Squeeze.
I want her.
Was there anything? I know we kind of. I don't want to say we beat E3 like a dead horse the past week, but we kind of did. Richard, was there anything you would have liked to have seen at E3 that you didn't get?
Video game content?
What?
I mean, video game content.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I knew it was a pipe dream and a long shot anyway. I would love to see Nintendo do something with Punch Out just because I love it so much. You know, leading up to E3, it was rumored that Konami would show up. Mm-hmm. And then they didn't. I almost think that I remember reading somewhere that
they backed out.
They backed out. They released a statement saying that they did have things in the works. They just weren't ready to show anything at the time. And I mean, you know, they said they were going to be there. So apparently the thought process was that they did have something to show. And then, you know, for whatever reason, they changed their mind at the end there. And, you know, we aren't in the business, so it's kind of hard to put ourselves in the position of a PR campaign for a big developer like that. But I don't understand, like, how you go from saying you're going to be somewhere to a few weeks later saying, well, we don't have anything ready. I mean, did they not have anything ready when they said they were going to be there? You know, I don't understand that. So, but I mean, I understand the caution, you know, CD Projekt Red. You know, when you get out there and you start, you know, talking about things too early, then a lot of pressure gets put on it. But I think the fact that a new Silent Hill is coming is pretty much confirmed. But the fact that they were hiring an art guy just this past spring kind of tells me that that's years from now. And, you know, I don't know what else they're doing. I know they've got a lot of good franchises, and I'd like to know what they're up to. What was the other one? The guys that did like the Saints Row thing. There was no mention of a Saints Row, and we've heard rumors of a new Saints Row or a Saints Row reboot being in development for years now, and still nothing. So Volition. I think that's who does Saints Row. I think it's
Volition through Take-Two, right? I think it's Take-Two.
No, Take-Two's Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto. That's they're one of those ones that just bought a whole bunch of them. They do like the Darksiders games. What is it? It's not Take-Two.
It's Deep Silver Volition, published by THQ.
THQ. That's what I was looking for. THQ. So, you know, did THQ didn't announce anything, did they?
No, they were a part of that. Whatever. I get. No, it was what was it called? The Coke Media. That was like they're on. That's the parent company of them.
Gotcha.
So they.
Yeah, as far as I really love THQ. They didn't really have anything out there. Konami, they pulled out. They didn't have anything out there. Being a Sony guy, that they didn't put anything out. Which hold out hope that at some point within at least the next month, we'll get something from them. With Nintendo, yeah, I kind of wanted Punch Out, but I knew that was a pipe dream going into it. Outside of that, I think everything that we saw was kind of expected. I don't think there was anything that was really like shock and awe, other than new Metroid.
Yeah,
didn't see that coming.
To the Konami thing, my theory with it is that the ESA, the people who host E3, was like, all right, guys, we're making a list of people who want to be at E3. Who's here? And someone at Konami went, yeah, we're going to be there. And then they went to Konami and been like, all right, guys, what do we got? And they're like, nothing. Why did you sign us up for that? And then they had to be like,
maybe they got sacked then.
Yeah, maybe. It's the only thing I know that they confirmed. Well, it's not even confirmed, but they that Castlevania Advance Collection, they got rated on the Australian ratings board. Was the only thing I know of that they even.
And I mean that's cool, but a new Castlevania would be really cool too, especially with the popularity of the Netflix cartoon. People love that.
Yeah, like
every Castlevania is hot right now.
Every game wants to be a Metroidvania, so I mean, we got a new Metroid. Why can't we get a new Castlevania?
We do.
And we can
actually, you know what? Or even an old Castlevania. I still stand by this. They should remake the original Castlevania. Don't change anything about it. The exact same game, but use like the 2.5D thing where you get the 3D background and stuff like that, and use the art style of Simon from Smash.
There we go.
I would play the hell out of that.
Did you ever actually start playing Smash?
I did not. I got busy. Stuff going on.
By busy, I want to. Means I was sitting around looking at my phone and not playing it because I have better things to do than play Smash. No,
I had a lot of stuff.
Cat girl porn.
I mean, swimming and fishing and outside stuff.
Dang.
I got a killer farmer's tan.
All right, ladies.
Good.
Richard's address is 130. Go check out his farmer's tan. I keep forgetting to put Age of Calamity in my car so that next time I see you in person, I'm like, hey.
Dude, I got even better than that. I totally forgot you had said anything about bar. I completely forgot all about it too. So,
well, I'm gonna remember one of these days to put that in my car so it's ready for the next one. They're like, "Hey, Richard, you ready to play this?" And you're like, "Yeah," and then you'll set it on the top of your pile of shame and forget about it.
No, I got something new for my pile of shame the other day.
What'd you get?
It was an Amazon Days deal. I got a Ghost of Tsushima for $25.
Nice.
It was on the PlayStation Direct store today for $10.
Really?
Yep.
Really? What the hell was that?
That's like where you got your PlayStation from, like their official store.
Oh.
Yeah, they were doing game deals on there too. I think they had Returnal for like $40 or $50.
That's not bad.
There was a lot of deals for games. I was looking to see if I saw a Resident Evil Village one. I didn't see one.
Yeah, it's like they're doing like their summer of deals thing right now.
I was ready to cave though, and I almost took advantage of GameStop's thing because they were like, "Hey, if you give us your Nintendo Switch and any pair of Joy-Cons you have, we'll give you $225." And I was like, I could trade in and upgrade my Switch for $75. But
I mean, that's not bad.
Especially I get one with better battery life and maybe not drift on my Joy-Cons. So, Michael, was there anything at E3 that you wished you would have seen? Any particular games or any kind of announcement?
I think any character that probably comes to Smash deserves a remaster, in bare minimum.
Yeah, we did a lot of prayer circles for a Banjo-Kazooie reboot, and that didn't happen.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we got Ice Climbers how long ago? Did we ever get a new game for them?
Nope.
No.
And it took
Punch Out. We got Little Mac. He deserves one.
Well, he got
Yes,
Punch
he
Out.
does.
Well, he got Punch Out on the Wii, which is more than the Ice Climbers got.
Dude, that was 5,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And then they
Like-
put Pit and all them in the Wii version of Smash, and then on the 3DS they came out with a new Kid Icarus game. Which
I'd like to see that ported to. I would like to see 3DS games ported over to the Switch.
Right. Yeah, we're due
Because
for
we
that
don't
too.
we don't need that 3DS functionality.
No,
I mean,
that was a gimmick, and late in the life, they stopped even incorporating it. And yeah,
yeah, give me a Link Between
Port 'em.
Worlds. That's one of my favorite 2D. Favorite 2D
a Link
Zelda.
Between Worlds.
It's one of my favorite 2D Zelda games. I was talking to some dude earlier today about Link's Awakening because that is my favorite 2D Zelda. We talked about like I came into work on my day off and I spent an hour of my time talking about Zelda with a customer, putting the corporate money to good use. Richard, one of these days, and it could very well be this episode, but we need to talk about like our favorite Zeldas and why. Have that Zelda tangent that we never got to have.
I don't know. There's a couple. I don't know if I can narrow it down to one.
Okay.
It'd be hard.
Okay, we're just gonna do this now. Top 3 favorite Zeldas, 2D or 3D.
Link to the Past, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess.
In that order?
No.
No. I bet.
I don't know, man. You understand that? You know, I was still a kid when Link to the Past came out, and I remember getting like the 3 medallions and then getting the Master Sword. And I thought that after you got the Master Sword and you went and killed Aghanim, I thought that was it. I thought it was over. And then all of a sudden you get blasted to the Dark World and there's this huge game with like 7 other temples. And yeah, it just blew me away. And that was like the first real, because I played the original Legend of Zelda, but then, it didn't have, there's such a difference as far as pixel art and everything goes when you went from NES to Super Nintendo. So that game just blew me away from my age. It was there's a lot about the Super Nintendo that just blew me away. It's one of my favorite systems. So I mean, there's like a nostalgia perspective, with A Link to the Past. There's a lot that goes behind that. But then, I don't know. I guess almost the same thing with Wind Waker. It was so different, and it was so unique with being out on the ocean and the boat, and how they. I don't know. It felt very familiar, and at the same time, it felt new, and the music in that game was just incredible. Mm-hmm. And with Twilight Princess, I just I love being adult Link. Even though Wind Waker is one of my favorite ones, and I think Link to the Past, your child Link too. I don't know. Maybe. I like playing as adult Link, but I don't know. See, I never really pictured Link as someone into ladies. I'm not saying that I thought he was something else either. He just really come off to me as, I don't know, asexual or whatever.
Asexual, if anything, yeah.
And it was the first time that I really kind of thought about Link as like in a possible, like, what's that term? Ship. You ship people.
Yeah.
I never did that with him and Zelda, but I totally did with him and Midna.
Oh, really?
And I'd love to see, especially, I mean, now that's awkward if you think about the little creature that she was. I'm talking about the end of it. Like when you actually saw who she really was, and you had that moment where you're just like, wow. It was almost like Link had that same, realization. And I was like, man, Link wants her. I know it. And then she busts that mirror. And
And
so,
then
I don't know.
At the beginning of the game, there was that little farm chick that was like all up on him. That was like taking care of his horse.
Yeah, man. But she wasn't Midna, though. She would. And see, I've always had this idea in the back of my mind how cool it would be to be like a sequel to Twilight Princess where you are Link, but you're more of a pirate. You got long hair, you got a beard, you're more of a swashbuckler, and it's all about finding Midna instead of saving the world and all that kind of crap. So I don't know. That's truly a pipe dream
I love that idea.
every Zelda is about saving the world and stuff like that. It seems like it'd be a cool departure just to literally if Link just went on this huge epic adventure for a piece of ass, it would change the style of the game and everything. I would love it.
Instead of a piece of heart.
Yeah. You collect 4 pieces of ass. In Skyward Sword, and I mean, kind of in Breath of the Wild, with its weird story layout, they kind of really have started hinting at like there actually being like a romance between Zelda and Link.
Yeah, they do. They just, God, they feel so much more like siblings. It's weird to me.
In Breath of the Wild, yes. In Skyward Sword, not really. But
no, but I mean, I wanted so much to like Skyward Sword. I just didn't like Demise.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the way they set that part of it up, and I stand by what I've said all along. I mean, that's a really great game, but just as a personal opinion, I felt like it was too long.
It is.
Just way too long.
It definitely is. Michael, what are your top 3 favorite Zelda games?
I hand in my gamer card on this. Like, I haven't played enough of them.
What are the first 3 Zelda games that you've played that come to mind?
Well,
that you've completed. Have you completed one? You've completed one, right?
One.
You've completed one?
I bet it's Ocarina
One.
of Time.
Ocarina of Time?
It's not even that one, which it should be.
Link's Awakening.
It should be that one. No.
That motherfucker's about to say the only Zelda game I've beaten is Zelda 2. I know it. That's what he's about to say.
I wish I could. No, first and only a Zelda game that I've beat is Wind Waker.
Well, I mean, that's a good one to beat.
That's a good one,
which was a really satisfying ending, I gotta admit, but that's the only one I've ever beat. I've played Ocarina of Time several times. Like, I'll get to like adult stage Link, and I'm like, I'm bored with this.
Man,
can't do this no more.
Man.
Oh yeah, I can't. Like, I grew up, and I'm like, I'm done.
Look, Link grew up, and he didn't just throw in the towel like I'm done. Like
He should have.
There's a bunch of fucking
There was
zombies.
a farm girl waiting for me. Didn't even have to save the day to get that ass.
Yeah, he's got to play a catchy tune in front of her, and she's like, "My bedroom's on the 2nd floor. Let's go."
Right. And then little fish girl and his horse.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the horny Zora in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, she's like hot for him. And then when she grew up, I'm like, I might play a little bit longer, but
I don't know.
Nintendo 64 graphics can only take you so far.
Dude, what is it about Zoras in Zelda games like falling in love with Link? He's even like Mipha in Breath of the Wild. Like there's hints at like them being like not a couple, but like, them flirting with each other and shit.
Right.
Like, how does that even work?
I don't know.
It's because they're like 90% naked already, and that's how it works. Oh no, my dick accidentally slipped in. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, but I don't. Fish girl. It just doesn't. There's something about that just is not appealing.
With that, like fish
I
girl.
mean, she doesn't smell like fish. She just feels like fish.
Look, I'd give Link credit if it was like that. I mean, we're not going to spend any time talking about this, but that whole the dolphin thing, you know what I'm talking about, Michael?
Yeah, the thing I posted recently.
Yeah, about the dolphin.
There we go. About the dolphin.
Yeah. If it was like that, I'd give Link like a little bit of credit. Like if that's what it's like, sure, man. You get one. Everybody gets one, but
right.
I don't know.
Some weirdo.
So. I'm surprised that like out of actually Richard said Link to the Past. I was expecting to hear more 2D Zeldas on the list. I mean, I like A Link Between Worlds and Link's Awakening, but I don't know if they're in my top 3. I don't like Skyward Sword like Richard does, but mostly my problems with it is the motion controls, but I think it has the best soundtrack out of every Zelda game.
Yeah, it does have a really, really good soundtrack.
And it's the first one that's completely orchestrated as as was a trivia question several weeks ago. But
Do you guys think Link should talk?
At this point, it'd be too weird. Like, if they started doing it with, like, the Wii, like, I couldn't expect them to do, like, full voice work with N64, but if they started doing it with the Wii, maybe. But at this point now, it's too weird.
I think that if they were going to do it, they should have done it in Breath of the Wild since the game went complete voice acting in the game. Like, they should have done it then. But then they gave an actual reason for why he doesn't talk. So it was just like...
It's because they got karate chopped through the throat by a Skeletor.
No.
I don't, because you get with, like, the characters and stuff like that. Mario doesn't really talk, but he does.
Right.
I like the babble speak from Mario and Luigi's Superstar Saga. And there was like bobbida boobida boobida bobbida.
God, it makes me think of Star Fox. Star Fox didn't show up at E3. I would have liked to have seen something from Star Fox.
Right, yeah, something from Star Fox.
F-Zero.
F-Zero.
Some guy got so... we really haven't really talked about it on the show, but that game, Game Builder Garage, that came out like 2 weeks ago, it's like on the Switch. Apparently somebody went and remade F-Zero in Game Builder Garage because I got sick of waiting for Nintendo to make it.
Damn.
Oh, they didn't get hit with a cease and desist from Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah, they just
Sorry, I used Nintendo's software to make a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Stop me.
This is not allowed.
What if they put that software out there to like find people that they wanted to hire to work on new games?
Did Chase get that?
They've done before.
Get what? Game Builder Garage?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be
Something
happy.
I can imagine Chase getting. Yeah.
I'd be happy to ask him while we're.
I know. Well, he brought it up in chat, I think, when he first heard about it. Or was that
Mario
you?
Maker. He was doing a bunch of Mario Maker.
Was he?
Yeah, I've dabbled in, made Chase play my levels on stream once.
Games like that are really hard because I think at first you think, oh, this is going to be so awesome. I can finally do what I want to do. And then when you get it and you start piddling with it, you realize that that's not actually what you want. You don't want to make what you really want to play. You want someone else to do it. Because once you make it and have to put all that effort, it's not the same.
Yep. So I made like 3 really good Mario Maker levels, and after that, I kind of gave up. I was more interested in playing other people's levels. I want to be a game developer as a side project, but not Mario.
No.
Do my own ideas. I'm going to go ahead and read this question that was sent to us on Twitter because it's related to Zelda. So this is from Jason Donald, 430 on Twitter. Said, I've heard many different theories about what's going on in Breath of the Wild 2. Some say that you get to play as the ancient hero. Some say it takes place in 2 timelines. What is everyone's thoughts? Or are we all just reading too much into this? Sigh emoji, 2 laughing emojis. I love the theory that you play as Ganondorf. That's my personal favorite one. Because it's so outlandish that I want it to be true. The one like where when he's in the sky with the weird arm that you're playing as Ganon. And not...
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense because his hair's yellow or blonde instead of red. But...
I don't know. I think...
You went Super Saiyan.
I think it's hard to approach a Zelda game from the angle of story. I think it's a little bit different with this one because it is a sequel. I don't know. You can draw so many conclusions from that trailer, but I think a lot of them are rooted in assumption because, at the same time there's a lot there, but that also in the same time there's not a lot there.
I will say
so,
the parts that involve like the 2 different timelines, I think that one's probably going to be the way it goes. Because people have been able to figure out, like on the shots of Link, like standing on the sky islands or whatever, they've been able to look down at the ground and see the exact locations, like from the original map. and how they're different in this one. Like in the original one, there's like ruins on the ground from like whatever it is that are not present in 2. So it's almost like the ruins are the Sky Islands. So it makes you think, okay, this game may take place in the past. So I mean, there's stuff like that in there.
But then why would Link have an arm that looked like the tablet?
I think I've been watching I listen to this stuff while I'm driving and I'm just working. I have nothing better to do. But one of them was like, okay, so in that first trailer, Link and Zelda come up on Ganondorf. What we assume is Ganondorf. He got the hand on his chest, and something happens, and Zelda falls, and that kid, whatever, falls down, and that hand comes off of Ganon to save Link, and that's what breaks the seal on him. And then Ganon's plan is to go back 10,000 years to like when the first hero of this particular story is like around, and kill him and stop him from sealing him away for 10,000 years.
Just like Samurai Jack.
Yep.
Got it.
And that's why like the Link that's falling through the sky that also has that golden arm or whatever, or like the Sheikah arm or whatever it is a different Link than the one that's in the present. Or something like that.
But I don't know, like, to go back to the first, then you're kind of in a weird area because the Link from Skyward Sword
is
supposed to be the first.
Well, no, it's within the bubble of Breath of the Wild. There's 3 timelines. It's the 10,000 years ago, whenever Ganon turned into Calamity Ganon the first time. And then there's the 100 years back from Breath of the Wild, whenever Link fell in battle, and like that's where all the cutscenes take place, when Zelda's like trying to get her powers to stop him, and then you have the present time.
I kind of wish they had never tried this. It's so convoluted. I mean, it would be like trying to rationalize Final Fantasy into one timeline. I mean, if you're going to do something like that, then do it from the beginning. Don't try and mash it up or create something that's not there now. Because to be honest, like as far as like different timelines and stuff, it's really, really hard to do that well. Like DC cannot do it well at all in Hollywood. And I think Marvel's about to try it. We'll see how they do.
Right.
But for the most part, it's really hard to pull off. I mean, the only thing that I can think of that comes to mind is Back to the Future. I mean that they had different timelines and it worked out.
I mean, I'm really hoping Link fucks his mom, but
he might. I don't know if that'll get past the ESRB.
His first rated M Zelda. Just because of
that. I don't know. I just, if they took it as an opportunity to, at this point, if they're trying to like do some sort of chronology, is that a word?
Yeah.
Chronology?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If they're trying to do some sort of chronology with The Legend of Zelda, then what I would hope that they could possibly do with Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever it's going to be called is just basically do the story equivalent to dropping a nuclear bomb on everything and just, start over.
Well, I like the part where the idea of Breath of the Wild being the game that merges the 3 shattered timelines back into one. And I think I may have talked about this before, but like that game, the original Hyrule Warriors is like the perfect game for doing that, because it already takes elements from all the other games because of that one chick who has a crush on Link, so she does it all in the name of love, but like she's the one who mashes all the timelines back together, but they swear that game's not canon, but it should be because it mashes everything back together.
I mean, some way to do that's not stupid. that would be the thing. And my thing about dropping the nuclear weapon and just blowing everything up and restarting, everything from the past, it would still sort of factor in, but it wouldn't have any weight to the future though. So you wouldn't be caught in a situation where you're trying to create a game and they're like, well, maybe it'll fit in here or maybe it'll fit in here. But I don't think Nintendo does that anyway. I think that's all fan base that tries to push all this stuff into
they just like hiding Easter eggs in the game. They don't really care about the continuity of where the game's placed. I mean, they've, as I think we were talking last week, and David was chiming in the chat, like our Hyrule Historia books are now out of date because they came out with a new one that's shifted where Link's Awakening takes place in the timeline. So I mean, you can do whatever you want with it pretty much, but like I think it would just be weird to drop a complete bomb on it because even though Skyward Sword, long game, not my favorite, but it's set up why everything is the way that it is because the demise. I can talk about this. Chase, don't listen to this. I know you haven't played Skyward Sword yet. Don't listen. Spoilers for Skyward Sword.
I also haven't played Skyward Sword.
Michael, cover your ears. He's not going to though. He might. Demise puts a curse on Link and Zelda to constantly be reincarnated to deal with his stupid shit. So,
which, man, that's just stupid to begin with.
It makes sense.
Like, I'm the main bad guy, and I'm going to curse the people that can stop me to always come back and stop me. I mean, why wouldn't you curse them to death so that they never get reincarnated and they never come back?
Because the game's rated E for everyone.
This is like the whole like Austin Powers thing where we're gonna put you in this room with an inept guard and I mean, come on, like, where's Scott Evil? Look, I got a gun. We'll shoot him in the head. Just get it over with.
I turned my Winky into a key. All right, give Michael the thumbs up to come back. Welcome back, Michael.
Hi.
So anyway, the ending of Skyward Sword is, kidding. Okay. Sorry if we spoiled that 10-year-old game. I know it's getting ready to come back out again, but sorry.
What was the guy's question again?
Oh.
I know we got off topic a lot. Not off topic, but just kind of off on a tangent.
A Zelda rant, yeah.
Yeah, that's what this whole... I'm going to rename this to the Epic Zelda rant. Heard many different theories about what's going on in Breath of the Wild 2. Some say that you get to play as the ancient hero. Some say it takes place in two different timelines. What is everyone's thoughts on it? Or are we all just reading too much into this? Yes, we are.
We are.
Yeah, everybody's reading too much into it.
So
no matter what we think, and even if it is true, they'll change it.
Yeah, I think there was one of the things in the trailer I thought was cool that I don't think many people were touching up on. There was a scene where like there's this giant worm thing, and it's like hanging from the ceiling, and there's like a bunch of fire going on, and so it looks like he's got a rune on his hand or whatever that's like shooting fire, but it's actually an attachment for his shield that's shooting fire back at that thing. I was like, oh, this is cool.
That is cool.
Weaponized shields. Awesome. So you still get to keep
the idea of playing in two separate timelines is not actually a bad idea. If it's done well. It makes me think of Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, which is a failure of a game. But you play as Dracula in modern day, but then it also kind of flashes back to earlier times too, and you kind of see what they were trying to go with there before shit hit the fan and everybody started to quit. If they had pulled off what I thought their vision really was, it would have been magical. And then this is completely different because it's not about a video game, but and I'm going to say this. Even though I'm going to do this spoiler free, because I've been talking about it in the chat, and that's the Last Ronin story arc, which is the final story of the Ninja Turtles, and Well, okay, this isn't a spoiler because it's the premise of the whole story arc. There's only one turtle left. The rest of them are dead, and the story progresses in real time. But in every episode, you kind of get a little bit of what happened before to kind of set the stage to what you're seeing now.
Mm-hmm.
If there was some way that you could make that, I mean, it would definitely make it kind of cinematic in a Zelda sense, to where you have a story and you're going through the motions of something that's happening in real time, but you're constantly, or not constantly, but whenever it makes sense, you're also going back to areas of the past that kind of make what you're going through make sense. And the reason why I say it would work with something like Legend of Zelda is because even though it's, I don't know, you wouldn't really call that a role-playing game anymore. I think it's that in the beginning it was considered a role-playing game, but that's kind of evolved. This is more like an action adventure. But the reason why I say it would work is you're not leveling Link up. Yeah. You know, you don't have some, skill builder stat where you're assigning points or all this other stuff. So it's not like you would out-level an area so these flashbacks would feel so disconjointed. It's still just an action-adventure game.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have that sort of break in the reality of the game mechanics either. So I could see that working with something like, The Legend of Zelda. So, I mean, that's not a bad idea, I don't think. But I don't know if it's going to be in two separate timelines because I don't know. Again, that story's so as it is. Is that the idea that the ancient one is the one with the arm?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
The only other thing I've seen is in the new trailer. It starts off showing Link with all that malice on his arm, right? So maybe his arm gets corrupted, and that's why the other arm takes over for him. Because if there's like screenshots of like that people have zoomed in on the hand, and like the fingernails are completely different on that hand, like they're pointy and black fingernails. Huh. So it's almost like it's somebody else's hand. And after that shot of him getting the malice on his hand, Link doesn't have the Master Sword at all, and it's almost like the Master Sword doesn't think he's worthy because he's corrupted by malice now. And in one of the shots like that, the way that the arm is made, it's like creeping up his chest and like onto his neck a little bit too, like almost like it's trying to like take him over. Whatever it is.
Maybe Link dies in the first 20 minutes. And you have to play the game as Zelda.
Oof. That'd be great.
Against that, you have to kill Link.
That's something else because they never showed Link's face in the entire trailer. So people think that there's something going on where it could be Zelda, it could be a different Link or another character or something like that.
What if you do play as Ganon?
Dude.
And Link's the bad guy.
Best Zelda game of all time. Ganondorf
Link's the bad guy. He's taken over by malice.
That would be great.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, you can make a lot of assumptions from that trailer, but you can make a lot of, you have to make a lot of assumptions. That's what I'm trying to say.
The real question is, will we see Breath of the Wild 2 again this year, or do you think we won't hear anything else about it till next year at E3, or an equivalent of E3? Or is it every time there's a Nintendo Direct we're getting an update on Zelda?
I don't know. I was underwhelmed by their 35th anniversary for The Legend of Zelda. Yeah. Like, I know Mario's like their flagship, but I don't see why. I mean, I don't see why they couldn't have done something similar with what they did for that with Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and with Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't see why they couldn't have made something equivalent to that. That was a big letdown.
Well, that was one of the questions I was asked when I got interviewed by that Nintendo employee at work. It's like, what did you want from Nintendo at E3? And I was just like, a Zelda 35th collection of some sort. At least acknowledging the existence of the Switch Pro, which I kind of got that after it was all said and done. Because there was some interview with Doug Bowser where he he didn't really say. He used his PR words to pretty much say the Switch Pro it existed, but without saying it's actually real and it's coming sometime soon.
I still don't want to said it. His name is Bowser. Come on, I mean, he's Bowser. You can't listen to him.
I think it was the. Oh, go ahead.
The only thing that'd be better if, like, I don't know, Bowser makes more sense, but if you're some dude named Wario, different like Nintendo.
I think it's either the vice president or one of the higher ups. His last name is Kirby.
Kirby? Yeah.
I think it was the E3 2019 show, but like they were starting things off, and instead of like Doug Bowser walking up, it was just Bowser in a tie, and he was talking, and he was like, and he was like, "Sorry, you're the wrong Bowser," and he like got all like just nervous and like you gotta get off the stage, man. He was so sad.
Is Kirby a girl?
Kirby doesn't. I think Kirby's canonically a boy.
Okay.
Looking it up now. I'm pretty sure Kirby's a boy. Kirby gender.
Kirby doesn't
Male.
have genitalia.
Male.
Yep. Kirby is a male, according to the Googles.
Kirby is just
Oh,
a slut that likes to suck people off.
He is a male in English, unknown in Japanese.
Okay. That's weird. But okay.
Because English people gotta have a gender.
You guys, I think this would be. I say it'd be cool to remake, but only because I like it. I may be one of the only fans. Do you guys remember the Adventures of Lolo?
It sounds
Vaguely?
familiar, but I've never seen.
It was for the original Nintendo. It's actually on if you have that, almost call it a streaming service for Nintendo. But if you got like the Nintendo Online service and you can play the NES games, it's actually on there. It's the Adventures of Lolo, and you play a little blue ball. It's a puzzle game.
Okay.
But it's not. I don't know if you'd call it like an adventure puzzler or. I don't know. It's really unique. I loved it when I was a kid, and I still love it to this day. If you hadn't played it, check it out. I would like to see a kind of a remaster of that one, maybe with more modern day graphics. But that would be pretty cool. Anybody listening, if you've not checked out The Adventures of Lolo, check that out.
Yeah.
It's a cutesy little game.
So I was on this Google thing, and so one of the things is people also ask. One of them says, "Why does Kirby say Pollo on it?" And so I clicked on it. I just want to know why. And there's a lot more Kirby backstory here than I think I've ever picked up on. It says Kirby's actually a kid Star Warrior who was supposed to sleep until he was older, but evil acted faster than expected on Dreamland, and he was rushed there. This is why Kirby only says Pollo and doesn't actually speak. And then completely does a 180 and says Majora's Incarnation is what happens when game designers smoke crack.
Okay.
I wasn't ready for that at the end of it. It's like, but they're not wrong. Majora's Incarnation is fucking terrifying. It just makes chickens. Michael, you don't know. You haven't beat Majora's Mask.
Full fire.
You guys seen that video of that guy that makes the Skull Kids mask like out of wood? It's like authentic.
I want one.
I've seen a couple
Yeah,
of them.
it's so gorgeous.
Badass.
One of these days, that wall behind me is just gonna be full of Zelda memorabilia and other gaming stuff.
I've considered doing a Skull Kids mask out of wood. I've really considered doing it. I've got the shop to do it in. I'm
thinking your lamp would actually fit really well in my room.
Wow,
this lamp back here?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's teal. There it is.
It is. It's teal. It's a teal lamp, so it would. No, I mean, I've thought about it. It's just, there's a lot of work involved. Because initially I was like, I should make one and sell it. But, there's a lot of carving. There's a lot of chiseling. There's a lot of work that goes into it. I don't know if I could sell it after I spent so much time on it.
Right? Like that's your baby at that point.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of hours. A lot of cut fingers.
Oof.
So.
It's more hours than sex.
Yeah.
Damn.
A lot more hours.
I don't know about all that. I do want one though. There's also a some guy on, I guess it's Etsy or whatever, one of the YouTubers I follow always talks about his shit. But he makes like a carbon steel master sword, and this is the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen. The sword itself is $500. The sheath or the scabbard or whatever is like another $400. But it's like the most badass looking stuff. No, I'm sorry. The scabbard's $100, the sword's $500, and the shield is $500. So you pay about $1,100 plus tax, shipping, and everything. You can get the full set, and it's modeled after the Twilight Princess version of all.
Pretty awesome.
And it's actual steel.
Mm-hmm. Carbon. It says carbon steel. I don't know if it's sharpened or not, but you could definitely get one.
Could you imagine, like, you breaking someone's house and, like, you end up on the news because you got stabbed by some guy with a master sword?
I'm pretty sure that's happened. That's totally happened. I'm gonna have to find the article while you guys talk about what games you've been playing this week.
I've been getting more into Genshin Impact. Like I said, I think before the show, they're introducing a couple new characters. So I'm really just kind of like grinding up to have materials for those new characters when they release so I can actually play them. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to start getting into Fortnite because I really want the Rick skin. And I really want the Rick skin so I can piss a lot of people off because everybody hates him.
Why does everybody hate Rick? Is it just a Fortnite thing? Or?
It's a Fortnite thing. Like, he's supposed to be a hateable character, but people love him. But the Fortnite crew hates Rick because he's cringe, and the Rick and Morty people hate Fortnite because Fortnite's cringe. So they hate each other, and that's why I need it.
Which means that Rick and Morty's the perfect crossover.
Exactly.
I think I'm going to hang out with the Rick and Morty side of it.
Yeah.
Because I do think Fortnite is cringe. I love Rick. How can you not love Rick?
How can you not?
How can you not love Morty? At this point, after, we're going into the 5th season now, he's really come into his own. Especially in the season opener. The season opener was Morty's show, man. It was Morty's show.
That episode, I don't know when it happens. Michael may not have seen this one.
I haven't seen the new show yet.
Well, it was the one from last season.
Okay.
There was one where he got a remote that, like, I
remember that.
It was supposed to rewind time or something, but it was creating an alternate reality every time he did it. And so there was this 10-minute, this silent skit of him getting a girlfriend, and then they were falling in love. They were getting ready to get married or something, and they go on some trip out into the middle of the mountains, and the plane crashes, and they get stranded out there for months or whatever it was, and then they find a way to get home, and they're all sitting around watching TV, and then Jerry picks the remote up out of his backpack thinking it's the TV remote and hits the button and rewinds him all the way back to before it.
It's so, man. To me, that was heartbreaking. Like, he actually found real love instead of lusting after this high school girl. And just, like, I felt for him. And then I think he still has the opportunity because, like he's, like, she sees him in, like, a vat of acid, quote unquote. But that's a different timeline version of her.
Yeah.
So I think there's still the opportunity that they'll get together again, but we'll see.
Are y'all talking about Jessica?
No, we're talking about that one chick from the vat of acid episode.
Oh, okay.
No.
So you've not seen the season opener, Michael?
No, I haven't.
The 5? Oh, okay. I can say this without spoiling it. There's an aspect of the episode where Morty has to visit this other sort of reality or dimension. And over the course of the episode, the world building and storytelling that's running in the background of this episode in this other dimension, that you just get to see snippets of it, but it's so deep, and it's so, and the way that they tell the story, you have this, in the space of one episode, you have this huge timeline of lore that you just feel like you know so much about. And it's to me, that's why that show is just genius, because they can do stuff like that. And it's literally epic. There's no other word you can put on that. It's epic. I loved that episode.
Wait, okay, how about this? We'll do another. What's your favorite? What's your favorite episode of Rick and Morty, Richard?
Oh, God.
Michael, the question's coming your way too. So
wow,
now that you have seen them all, but
I don't even know. I really don't. Favorite Rick and Morty episode? I would probably disagree with myself 10 minutes from now, but like the first one that pops into my mind is the Purge episode. Man, I loved the Purge episode. Just because of the music that played when they started killing people. It feels good or whatever. Yeah. I love the Purge episode. But I don't know, man. There's so much. I can't. That answer. You can't answer that question.
There's really not like even a bad episode of Rick and Morty. Like even like a bad episode for them is like it's still an okay to / good episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I would consider like bad. I don't know.
I think I love the interdimensional cable episodes, but I think the Morty's Mind Blowers. I think that's my favorite episode. Because all the little snippets of just the random pocket shit.
Oh, that's okay. I know that one. That's the one where like he sees like every time he screws up or something like that,
and he gets his memory wiped, and Rick keeps it in the room.
Yeah.
There was one of them. There was one of them where like they were sitting around, and he made this helmet that lets Morty listen to animals talk. And he's just walking down the street, and he starts eavesdropping all these squirrels that are plotting to overthrow the government.
Oh, that's yeah. I was confusing that with something else, but I remember that one too.
Yeah, so like they end up with like all these squirrels in their yard, and they end up having to hop universes again, like what happened when they Cronenberg'd Earth.
Oh yeah, Rick Potion number 9. That was a good one too.
Again, I don't think there's I don't really like the arc of whenever Beth and Jerry were split. Actually, you know what? There is a bad episode. The one where Jerry has that girlfriend that's like a vampire hunter. I don't like that episode. It's stupid.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Love.
Well, at least their relation. I mean, you know, at the stage their relationship is in season 5, man, they're really growing. So. Oh, there's so much in that episode.
Mr. Nimbus. Anyway.
Yeah, Mr. Nimbus.
Anyway, Richard, what have you been playing this past week?
I'm going to be honest.
If anything.
This happens to me maybe once a year just for a few weeks. I don't know why it happens. I just get sucked into this kind of like a Minecraft renaissance. So I've been playing Minecraft, man.
Nice.
I think it was because that update just came out for consoles, the cliffs and whatever. They added like copper, and they added the axolotls and mountain goats and stuff like that. And I don't know, I kind of wish Minecraft had the depth of like Terraria. I don't understand why it doesn't. Like, I don't know. I feel like there should be tons of wildlife and just tons of stuff in it at this point. And I mean, there really is. Their updates aren't, empty shells of an update. But I don't know. There's something about Minecraft that just not creative mode. Like, I don't know. I'm at a point right now. I don't know if it's just because I'm old and crotchety or whatever, but I absolutely hate creative mode. I almost wish I kind of see like why they put it in there, but. Man, to me, that's boring as hell. Survival or bust. But yeah, that's I can't think of anything else I've been playing. I got to finish Horizon Zero Dawn, which I'm close. I think I'm at the very end of that. But I don't know. My wife's been on vacation this past week, so we've been doing a lot of stuff outside the house. And typically, when she's on vacation, we make the most of that time. So I turn off and I tune out, but. Yeah, that's what I've been playing. I've been playing Minecraft and Horizon Zero Dawn.
Nice. I took up the mantle and started playing Demon Souls again. and I beat my first.
Yes.
I beat my first boss today.
Yeah.
Which is it's not an accomplishment for most people, but for me, which, granted, I'm going to put it this way. But the only other Souls game I've ever played, I don't know why I'm so blurry. Sorry for watching this on video. I can't get my thing to focus back. But if you have, the only other Souls game I've played is Dark Souls 3. So the first boss in that area, which I guess is still even technically like a tutorial boss, is like this big knight, and when you knock his health down far enough, he turns into this gigantic dragon-looking thing. And then, very intimidating, could never beat him. The first boss in Demon Souls is a slime covered in shields. Well, much easier for a first boss than some gigantic-ass night dragon. So, but I'm so proud
I
of myself.
know, what's weird is they're kind of similar in a way, Mitch. Maybe you should go back and approach it again.
Now that I understand the mechanics of how the game works, probably.
Yeah, because once that night transitions over to that massive black blob type thing, it's almost kind of the same way. You've got to keep moving, and you use fire.
Kill everything with fire.
Yeah. Well, no. Sometimes fire doesn't work.
No. Other than that, I went to a Smash tournament. I got 5th place. Which is not bad for my first time back in a year and a half. Out of 16 people, I took 5th place. So
Nice.
it was great. I don't know if I posted it in the group chat or not, but I was sitting in my car and I was making like music to listen to because you can't hear anything, and I play better when I hear music. So anyway, I'm going into the second round. There's this kid, and he's like 7 or 8 years old, and maybe 9. And I put my AirPod in, and he goes, "Oh, you got your try hard music on?" And I was like, "Damn right." And then I whipped the shit out of him, and it was great.
And that's always like the best feeling in the world, like just wiping people's smile off.
And then I had to fight his brother in the next round, and I got my ass beat. So
That's fair.
them damn Falco mains, man. I wasn't ready for all the Falcos to show up. But
I don't know. I kind of get that though, because like I think I've talked about it before. Like as far as Pokemon goes, I really like the card game.
mm-hmm.
And most of the time when I beat someone playing the card game, they're a little kid. So, it's a little boost of, because you expect them to be better than what they are. I mean, come on. This is their lifeblood. To me, it's just a little side hobby. You should be able to beat me.
Yeah, but the money would have been nice though. And other than that, also
What was the money?
So it's $10 to get in, right? For
Yeah.
the tournament, and you get 60% of the pot. So $160, 60% of it, that's like what, $85, $90 first place?
I mean, just for playing a video game for a few hours.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
So and in Forza Horizon 4, I got a 2015 Dodge Challenger Hellcat, and I love it now. I want one in real life. So that's something. Also, real quick, I have this article about the man stabbed with Legend of Zelda Master Sword in serious condition, and this was on Tuesday, March 4th of 2014. So maybe he may have also died. But it's from the this is from the Independent, and then right underneath it says pots were also smashed during altercation, because they're
Oh my god.
they are really running with this. I'm just going to read the article. It says, few could doubt the power of the Master Sword. Not only has it defeated countless incarnations of Ganondorf in the Legend of Zelda series, but now it has hospitalized a Texan. A man was stabbed with the point of a replica of the legendary sword during a domestic dispute in the city of Katy. Eugene Thompson told police how his girlfriend called her ex-husband for help after they got into an argument, with Thompson drawing the sword as a means of defense. Quote, I pulled it out and I stood in the doorway and he was just coming down that hall at me while I was yelling, "Go away, you don't live here." The man declined to mention whether he collected any rupees following the incident.
God damn.
The ex-husband was...
I like that he stands and says, "Go away, you don't live here."
The ex-husband was taken to a hospital following the altercation, but not before he, in true Zelda fashion, smashed a flower pot, over the head of Thompson.
Oh man.
So anyway, yeah, get your master swords anyway. Um, let's. Oh yeah, I have a trivia question prepared. I'm so disorganized this evening. We're gonna do trivia and then we're gonna close out. So Richard, you weren't here for the last trivia. You decided to finally take a day off.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
I remember I missed one. Yeah.
Everybody got that one right that week except for Alex. So because he wasn't on. So currently the score reads as Michael with 14 points. Richard, you have 11. Steven has 8. Chase has 6. Alex still has 2.
Are we playing towards a point total? Or is this like
At the end of the year, we're gonna count them up.
okay.
It's gonna be like 40 to something. Probably, I don't know. I don't know. There's not like a prize, I guess. I should probably come up with a prize. I don't think winner gets their own Next Gen Newsweek shirt. That's what it is.
Chicken dinner.
Yeah. So I came up with this trivia question because today is the 25th anniversary of the Nintendo 64 and Super Mario 64. So, happy anniversary.
Yeah.
So anyway, which of these games was the only other launch title for the Nintendo 64 in the United States? There's only 2. One of them was Super Mario 64. And this is in the U.S., in Japan, and in the U.K. there were different launch games, but there was only one other game that was a launch title for the N64 in the United States. Was it Pilot Wings 64, Turok Dinosaur Hunter, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, or Star Wars Shadows of the Empire? Y'all can go whenever you want to. I'm not gonna.
I'm going to say Shadows of the Empire.
What were the options again?
Pilot Wings 64, Turok Dinosaur Hunter, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, and Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
I'm going to say Turok.
Well,
It feels wrong, but that's what I'm going to go with.
You have both gotten the question wrong. The answer was Pilot Wings.
Pilot Wings, yeah.
Pilot Wings.
In the UK, all of these games came out with Super Mario 64 like 3 months after when it launched in the UK, after the US launch. But yeah, it was just Pilot Wings and Mario 64. So that's like the weakest launch lineup for a new system I've ever heard of. Like,
I don't think I actually played Pilot Wings 64.
I've never played
I loved it for Super Nintendo. Man, that was fantastic.
They added like Pilot Wings to I think Wii Sports Resort. I think that's the only time I've ever played Pilot Wings. Alright. I'm gonna take my yawning as a sign that it's time to go. So do you guys have anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Check out BoardGameRenovations.com. Big update next week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Snazzy. What you got, Michael?
I got nothing.
I got a whole lot of nothing.
Whole lot of nothing. This week's podcast is still also brought to you by nothing. I got nothing.
Wow. No plugs this
Double O's. Yeah, no plugs.
Dang. Well, I don't have anything either. I'm just really proud. I'm happy, I should say, that video I made, the whatever it's called, the hype trailer for all the games from E3. The artist Vo Williams, who wrote the song that I used in the trailer, commented on the video and said that he loved it, and I was like, oh my god, it was really exciting. So
it was awesome.
You know
if you haven't seen it, check it out.
I do have a plug. The.moonmarket at Instagram.com. They make custom coffee syrups. And they're pretty well priced. So you should check them out.
Interesting. If you want to find me anywhere on the internet, it's at Meechflow. I'm gonna put that video in it'll be on the end screen of this. So once you or it'll be in the description too if you want to go check it out. But anyway, that's going to do it for episode 53 of Next Gen Newsweek. I hope you've enjoyed our Zelda tangents and Rick and Morty tangents and Genshin Impact and not a lot of E3 coverage. But there wasn't a lot to talk about anyway, so it's okay. So we'll be back next week, and we'll see if anything exciting in the world of gaming happens in the next 7 days. But until then, have a good week.
Bye. Meow meow.